your role now in the Army is what?
I'm a first sergeant.
And that's a very engaging role with
Yeah.
your soldiers.
Yeah, it is. It can be super daunting.
Yeah.
I was really hesitant when I found out that I got the role.
I bet.
I might have let out a series of cuss words because I was really happy being an instructor and I didn't want to leave the instructing world. But I'm like, you know what? I've been doing this 9 years. I think it's time to go back to a line unit, get back. And I'm glad I did because the Army has shifted their training and their mindset into this back to the basics type stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
And when I came back to this unit, I already had this mindset.
Uh-huh.
And then, all of a sudden the Army's like, by the way, we're going to start like going back to how it used to be. And I'm like, I love this. Like your mindset is like in sync with mine because I think that we need to take a step back. And this being a line unit, we need to do a lot of training, not just regular skills like soft skills.
Yeah.
And I think that was super great. And there's this is my squad mentality where you as a squad, like you need to engage with your soldiers. And I've been really pushing that onto my platoon sergeants and onto my squad leaders where I'm like, okay, I'm in charge of 4 platoon sergeants. You're in charge of 4 squad leaders. They're in charge of 4 or 5 soldiers. Like you're not here as a platoon sergeant to run a platoon of 30 people. You're here to take care of 4. We keep breaking it down to where it's not a lot of work.
It doesn't seem so overwhelming,
right?
Like that,
exactly. Yeah. And there is some, a little hesitation just because they're not used to that. And I get it. I used to be a platoon sergeant. I know how daunting it was to be a platoon sergeant. But it's great, and I think just getting them to share, and that's one thing I love about having the background that I do, especially in the military and being a first sergeant, is that I get to share that. And one of the things I did with my lower enlisted soldiers about 4 months ago, I brought a financial management expert in, and I said, okay, I want you to teach these soldiers about financial management.
That's wonderful.
And I was like, because the stigma out there, especially in the Army for sure, is all these soldiers got the money, like they come out of basic training with this money and they just like buy Corvettes and all this sort of stuff and get tatted up. And so I'm like, I want you to teach them and I want you to help them. And I think one of the things we're going to do in the next couple months is actually bring someone in to talk to them about investments, like investing in
wonderful.
401k and things like that. I'm like, think of your future. I was like, my goal is to help you not only be skilled, but to have, amazing personal skills and not just technical skills. Like we're going to make you a well-rounded soldier and just person in general, because that's how we are.
Yeah. And it makes the transition better outside the military because it could be culture shock for so many of our soldiers when they're coming out.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think one of the things I especially love about that is I get to do it on that side and being on the civilian side and having an employer. I don't get
you
to
see both sides.
I don't get to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, like I really love doing this I really feel like I'm helping people. And on the civilian side, being at an employer, I don't feel like I'm helping people all the time.
Yeah.
And there I really get to see, even today, on my drive home from work, I was calling brand new soldiers and saying, hey, it's the first sergeant. They're like, oh my God, why are you calling me? Because apparently first sergeants were all mean. And everyone's like, no one likes them.
Am I in trouble?
Right. I haven't even been in my first drill and you're already calling me. And I go, what do you need from me? Here's what we're going to do. And they're just like, well, I appreciate that. And I think it's so great because you get to have that connectivity and that human realness. And that's what I love about it. And they're like, we're not used to this. And I go, that's how I operate.
Yeah.
I'm not your typical first sergeant. I'm not your typical NCO because while I will play the game, I will do the custom and the courtesies while I'm on military time. I also feel like there has to be a realness to it. And when you bring that realness, it shows the care, it creates trust, and people will reach out to you when they need you.
Yeah.
And I've had soldiers come to me, hey, I have this personal problem. Can you help? and I'm like, let's sit down and let's see what resources are available for you, you know, and we'll do I don't know all of them, but we'll find together, you know, and even some of them don't know how to do that. And teaching them is, it's my children almost, without, having to send them to college, or, pay for their clothes for the Gap. And so it's great, and I love it. And I feel like it was one of the right moves for me.
Yeah.
I really do. I was, like I said, super hesitant because I knew what responsibility and work came with it. And it's still even more responsibility than I anticipated. But at the same time, too, knowing that soldiers know that I'm here for them, and my commander, she's amazing too. Like we are so in sync with each other. We are both like, I agree with that. I don't agree with that. Here's why. For them to see that, they're like, wow. Because I even had like a couple of come to Jesus moments with my unit this last drill. I'm like, I'm not here to micromanage you. Like, I'm not here to walk around and see what everyone's doing if you're actually engaged. That's not my job. My job is to motivate you and to empower you to where I don't have to walk around and know. I was like, because I hate being stuck in my office. But I also have to do certain things while I'm here on like drill weekend. I was like, but when I'm out and about and getting engaged with you, I know that you're doing meaningful stuff.